shining his little light on the fading embers of Act 1 of today's Elaine Page on Sunday. Oh, please. But it's all about to reignite after the news when the show will go on. Oh, it will, with showstoppers from Wicked, and I've got The Greatest Showman. And you have to stick around for a modern-day Broadway favourite as well, because I've got a fantastic one in Diva Double. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 2 o'clock. This is Catherine Cracknell. A passenger plane carrying 72 people has crashed in central Nepal, killing almost all those on board. At least 68 people are known to have died in what's the country's worst air crash in 3 decades. The Yeti Airlines flight from Kathmandu came down while landing at a newly opened airport close to the tourist town of Pokhara. At least 15 foreign nationals were among those on the flight, including one from Ireland. Divya Darkal saw the aircraft lose control.
I saw Yeti Airline collapse near my place, and there was smoke over the sky, so I rushed to the crash site, and by the time I was there, the crash site was already crowded and there was smoke, huge smoke coming from the flames of the plane.
Police say a 7-year-old girl remains in a critical condition after a shotgun was fired from a moving car outside a church in central London yesterday. 5 other people were also hurt in the attack near Euston Station. It happened as people left a memorial service for a woman from Colombia and her daughter. No arrests have been made. The Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has told the BBC he doesn't support 16-year-olds being able to change their legal gender. He said he had concerns about legislation passed in Scotland last month. Here's our political correspondent, David Wallace-Lockhart.
Members of the Scottish Parliament voted for legislation that cut the timescales, removed the need for a medical diagnosis and lowered the age at which someone can change their legal gender. The government in Westminster has concerns about the impact on UK-wide equalities legislation and has not ruled out the possibility of blocking the Scottish bill this week. Sir Keir Starmer also has concerns. He told the Laura Kuenssberg on Sunday programme on BBC One he did not think 16-year-olds should be able to make such a change. He said he wanted to see the UK government's response this week.
Rescue workers in the central Ukrainian city of Dnipro are continuing to search for survivors of a Russian missile attack on a block of flats. At least 21 people were killed and 40 others are still missing. The UK is calling on its allies to urgently supply more military aid to Ukraine. Rishi Sunak said Russia was on the back foot because of resupply problems and plummeting morale, offering a chance to push back Moscow's troops and secure peace. Britain has pledged 14 Challenger tanks, but Germany's been reluctant to do so. Thomas Erndl, who's a German opposition MP, said he disagreed with his country's stance.
I do not understand the hesitation and all the excuses the government brought up and the Chancellor brought up in the past couple of months. We see the critical situation of the Ukrainian people, of the Ukrainian soldiers, and we need to do everything to help them.
And a father from Cardiff has donated his kidney to a stranger after his daughter received her own life-changing kidney transplant. Arfan Jones, who wasn't a match for 19-year-old Seren, said he felt as though he'd given someone a nice Christmas present. And that's the BBC News at 2:03. Now let's get an update on the travel situation. Here's Orna.
Catherine, thank you. We've got quite a bit of localised flooding out there. Herefordshire, Worcestershire, also Shropshire and southwest England in general. And the strong winds which are affecting some of those exposed routes, really. So it just means extra care when driving, that's all. East Ayrshire, the A735 and Queen's Drive's closed. That's because of flooding. It's near Lawson Street. Newcastle, it's been slow on the A167M. That's heading south down towards the Tyne Bridge in Newcastle. The M180, that's the westbound side at Junction 2 at Gainsborough through to Junction 1 at Bawtry. There was a car on fire. Now, one of the lanes is still closed to the scene, but the traffic is coping quite well. The M48 Original 7 Bridge has restrictions in case they need to close it. And it's the A491, the High Street. Both directions are closed near Amblecote, and the A451 at Bath Road near Stourbridge. Now, that's because of an accident which happened a little while ago now. In Worcestershire, the A443 Hilton Road is closed in both directions near the A40 M24. That's because of floodwater. And at the bottom end of the M5, there are still 2 lanes closed, and that's affecting you around Exeter through to junction 31 at Oakhampton. There's been an accident there, and so 2 lanes are still closed. Then on the trains, engineering work out there. Do check ahead. Manchester Piccadilly station is completely closed. That's the mainline station, but with more in an hour.
Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.